then today, this afternoon, it's just like
That's crazy.
a lot of my friends have had this though. There's like a little mini flu going around. So hopefully it's just a brief thing.
That just all came over you. That's so sick.
Yeah, just like so. I just was sleeping. Haven't done much work, but there hasn't been much work to be done because this is a very tough slate, and
No news, at least, right?
no news yet. Like, I guess that's a good thing.
Well, I mean, you got Avdia playing. That's good.
News, yeah.
I mean, it's good in that it is what it is.
Yeah,
we have it.
It's just very tricky because the value is like very suspect.
I guess it'd be nice to know if Giannis is playing, right?
Like I'm trying to figure out. Like, Luka's got a 30% own projection, or roughly around there, somewhere in that range. How are people doing it? Like,
I'm getting 58%.
I think that means that you're going to end up with just really chalky craziness. That's wild cards. Like, it just
like the worst. Like Taylor Horton Tucker, Keelan Ellis.
Yeah.
Dylan Brooks. Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Not to Exum.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a tough one. I'm gonna again. It may be a good day for me just to take off. I was gonna build a lineup here while we're on, but I don't even I don't have a strong lean of what I want to do. Still, it stands with what I said earlier. I think that I think playing Cam Johnson makes sense. They did cool themselves on the Lonnie Walker projection. I still kind of like Dennis Smith Jr. as a value piece. I mean, those are the pieces you're using, but you don't have to play Luka. Just throwing it out there. And we've got Walker Kessler projected at who knows what day they decide to start him and what day they don't.
Right.
How many minutes is he going to play or not? Anybody's guess. So tricky slate. Sharp said he's saying Sharp looks appealing. Yeah, sure. They run Sharp, throw him in the mix. Right. It's not like there's
why not?
Yeah, Daron Sharp projected it basically a season average. He happened to have a big game his last time out just because he did. He had 17 rebounds in 24 minutes.
Who had 17 rebounds?
Daron Sharp.
Oh my God.
But you could look back at every other game he's played and could care less about him. But today he makes a difference because you don't have that value. Even if Giannis doesn't play, it's not like there's going to be some sort of a super value play. It just means you're going to even it out. And I kind of like the idea of playing Giannis is looking like he's going to get ownership because his projection's high. But I just want to know. I mean, these weird ones, I like McBride a little bit. I like Keon Ellis fine. I think that Champagny is a huge bust path there, but we all know how I feel about Dylan Brooks. But now with the lack of value, maybe you do just suck it up and take the minutes and hope for the best. But I'm looking at everybody here, and it's like every time I try and think of, who would I want to play? Everyone is, I don't want to play that guy. I don't want to do that.
So maybe screw Luka and just do something else,
I think so. I think that's the way I'm leaning.
Maybe play like Fox with, I don't know, the Jalen Smith, Jalen Green or something like that. Or
something like that. That makes sense.
Or Jalen Brunson, maybe.
I like the Jalen Brunson thing a lot. And he's going to be very low owned. So if you can get that Brunson play to work, if they can hang in there with Denver, man, that could be a really good play at low ownership. And the thing is, he's given us no reason to think he won't be great every time. I don't really know why. I know Denver's a tough matchup, but this guy just keeps putting in he just scored 40 real life points back to back. I don't know. The number of shot attempts, he's taken 25, 28, and 30 in the last 3 games. He took 17 free throws in one of those games. It's just everything's running through him. Now, I know those are better matchups than this one, but I kind of like that play. And it's a later thing because Maybe that is a thing you do too tonight. Just because we don't have anything, and the only thing we're really waiting on is Giannis, which is at 8 Eastern that we know of. Maybe you hope somebody else is out that we're not, maybe, Kobe White and Caruso are still questionable. That could be something a little bit. You know what I mean?
The other thing I would say, kind of piggybacking off something that guy's been asking me for like 11 straight days in a row about like when to use min uniques and when to use like 2 or 3 or 4. Like I think that tonight would be a good time to do a lot of different min uniques, because if you're going to play Luka, you're gonna need to get those cheapos right. So if you only play min 1 unique, you're going to end up like taking big stands on like a guy who's probably like a point higher than somebody else, like down in the 4K range.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely shuffle those if you were going to play Luka.
Yeah. I think that makes sense to get all kinds of different exposures if you're going to go that route, because like I don't think anything feels sure thingy to me tonight anyway. Boy, where is that? So they have a small.
It looks pretty good. It looks all right. Wendell Carter Jr.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that one. Like, there's no like logic. Like, I mean, there's no like logical thing that stands out about him being like a great play to me.
No, he's just 53, just a decent $5,300 guy.
Yeah, just a guy who maybe can get there and has a ceiling. Like, I mean, compare him with Kessler. Like Kessler.
Yeah, I'm playing both of them, I think.
Yeah, and I think they're both complete wild cards for what it's worth. Those minutes in Orlando, if your name isn't, Suggs, Wagner, and Banchero, they can go to anybody else. They don't need any of these guys. They've made it very clear this is a really, really good basketball team. And you just don't get those minutes from Wendell Carter that much. And it's a tough matchup. But I could see it. I mean, 5,300, totally reasonable. So I'm probably, I didn't post my builds and stuff today, partly because I was been under the weather, but also because I didn't have any plays to post. But I'm trying to build some stuff now and see if I can get something that makes a little more sense with this slate. And I think that would be I think that my entering strategy would be to probably take a little less of the game that everybody wants you to take, which is the Washington-Sacramento game, or everything tells you to take, because I just think there is going to be later news if we don't know about Giannis. If we don't know about the Bulls guys, we don't know. And then there's the stuff we don't know, like that always seems to come up. And shout out to Orlando again for, of course, having their lineup in a million years early. I love that. So what about Crowder? Crowder, if Giannis is out, sure.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
If Giannis is out. Right. But what I don't want is people who are watching game logs from last night and assuming that Crowder without Giannis is going to be the same Crowder with Giannis. And by the way, without Giannis, Crowder played 15 minutes and had 12 fantasy points.
That's not a lot. It's a 0.8 fantasy points per minute. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So he's
So all he's got to do is play like 32 minutes, and he's good.
He got in foul trouble, and they were much better without him, and Bobby Portis took the role.
Yeah.
I can't do the Crowder thing. I actually think even without Giannis, it would be hard after last night to justify it somehow.
I wanted to. I said you can't do that. So you're not. Don't just ignore that.
How do I ignore this? Okay.
So all right. So let's see, Jared Butler. Like,
don't touch anything. Leave it.
Yeah, the Butler is interesting a little bit. I think that's probably one I could get on board with. I don't love the first game. What is that thing?
There's literally nothing I can do about it. I was just told it's completely out of my hands. It's just going to be this way.
Forever?
Forever. Like in my ear until I die of old age. Let me see if I can't put an end to this. Oh, there you go.
Oh, there it is. There it is. All right, so
I'm gonna get yelled at for doing what I just did. We're gonna find out. We'll find out forthwith.
So, yeah, I mean, so going to the slate, I put my core stuff up. I don't really have I feel like there's a bunch of guys I feel medium with, and I do think it's a better day to spread out because, you look at the most popular plays, and there's a lot of volatility in all of these value plays, and Horton Tucker, Brooks, Ellis. Who do you feel the best about? It's really hard to say. I guess like Ellis and McBride for me would be the two I feel the most comfortable with.
That makes sense.
But they also, I would say the highest upside is probably Horton Tucker. So and you know, the Jared Butler thing, like, okay, so like how, you know, we really only have like Avdia back. Wait, what am I missing here?
What?
No, Avdia is back. Yeah, I don't mind the Jared Butler as like it's a little fringy. I mean, for sure, but yeah, I think you could take a shot. Any of the Mavs, that's the problem. There's too many of them. Like we're really just playing the guessing game. If it was me, I would just say go back to Derek Lively because he's 4,100 and no one's playing him. And for some reason, they all did the other night. This game feels like it could have a blowout. It's a much better pace, and I think that he could get there. Also, he's going to be the only one who's really low owned of the group. So I don't mind taking shots on Lively. I do think that there's a risk because of Kleber being there available. Also, there's 4 bigs. I mean, you only need against Utah. You don't need any. So Lively would be my pick if I picked one, but I don't feel great about any of them. Lively and PJ Washington would be the two. PJ Washington at power forward. I guess that one's
better than Gafford, huh?
Gafford is going to do the same thing. He plays 20. He doesn't play more than 24 minutes.
Yeah.
He basically has less of a role than these other guys do.
Yeah.
But sure, go ahead and play him. Like, I mean, you know, I don't think it's a good play in general, but tonight I don't think there are a lot of good plays. So I guess based on this slate, it is fine. I'm just looking at his minutes and seeing if we got any trend. No, it's really he reached 26 in one game. He can get there in short periods of time. Don't get me wrong. He's really active. So I actually don't mind any of them. That's the truth. I guess I don't mind any of them. I just don't. This is how I feel about this slate. There's a lot of stuff, and so far the best thing I can think of to get different is not playing Luka and playing Jalen Brunson.
When's the last time Isaiah Hartenstein did anything?
I think he had one decent game. I don't remember. Let me see something. Like as a pick. Oh, yeah. No, he's coming off of 2 big games. Yeah, he had 38 and 39 the last 2. Tough matchup.
You sure?
I guess that's a pretty still silly comment on my part, but man, these Knicks are tough. They just keep winning games without their guys. Doesn't matter. Hartenstein I would rate as being similar, like
to Kessler and all the other guys.
I think he'd be similar to Gafford. Yeah, Kessler. Probably not. Probably a little behind those guys because of the matchup, but I mean, again, remember we're speculating on Walker Kessler here, and I'm guessing so. Like, what's the deal here exactly with this projection? And let's see why.
What's the deal with Walker Kessler?
We just don't know. Like, they change their starting lineups all the time. We don't know if he's starting. We don't know how many minutes he's playing. I don't think they know how many minutes he's playing. He hasn't reached 30 in a while. I understand they're down some bodies, but they've been down these bodies. It's not like we have, you know, I mean, I get it with Collins, obviously, but I forgot. So that's what I had. I had Collins as questionable. My bad. That's a big mistake. But still, we don't know that it's necessarily going to Kessler, or would they go small and start Hendrick? I don't know. It's probably going to be Kessler, but it's not like they've done this automatically every time. Watch them start like Lucas Samanic out of the blue or something.
Oh, for sure.
So I think I would. I think like if I was playing one lineup, which I'll play one lineup just for fun. I'll play Taylor Norton Tucker as one of my value pieces. I'll play Ellis. The problem is I like the point guards as a way of getting different. Ellis, and then I'm going to play what's his name? I want to play Fox. See, I want to play Fox with Ellis. I don't know. I guess so. I think I'm going to do it. He only played 28 minutes last night. Ellis had played how many last night? 25. Ugh, man, it's just ugly.
What do you think of playing? What do you think of playing Lillard, even if Giannis plays?
I think it's bold.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just,
Yeah, I think it's a bold idea. I think that at similar ownership, I don't know why we wouldn't just play Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
At actually less ownership, I think Jalen Brunson will be. I don't think people are. Like, it's interesting to me that they don't, but
you know what it is? I still think people like they don't think that he's like De'Aaron Fox or other 9K guys. Like they think he's still like that guy you played when Luka was out. You know what I mean? When he was on Dallas. You know,
right.
They don't see him as like the lead freaking point guard for the Knicks. You know, they just don't believe it, I guess. But all he does is put up 50.
He has the highest usage rate of any player in the NBA over their last 5 games.
And there you have it. I mean, you know what I mean? Like
he had a 49% usage rate the other night in a game he played 37 minutes. That's insane. You know what I mean? You can't like deny these plays, and they're going to need every bit of it against Denver. And watch, it's going to be like 5 fantasy points for him at the end of the first, like, or 5 minutes into the game or 6 minutes in the game. People are freaking out. And then he goes like on nuts down the stretch in the second half.
Right.
MJ likes the Jalen Green thing. I don't like. Yeah, it's for Jalen Green. Really bad matchup if Caruso plays, because you'll get some Caruso, some Desonmu, and Van Vliet will get the other. I still like Amin Thompson from that game.
Oh yeah, sure.
And I think that game, becomes. It's weird to say like stackable, but like I think if Desonmu and White are out, I'm sorry, if Caruso and White are out, I think that Torrey Craig's value is going to show up a little bit, and I think that Drummond is more in play, as is one of the DeRozan, Vooch, and then potentially Desonmu. I really think that like getting some exposure there at low ownership. Because I even think if that happens, I don't think you're going to see crazy like high ownership. And I kind of like the idea of what the hell. I mean, honestly, if Giannis didn't play last night and does tonight, I don't understand what's happening. It's breaking my brain, man. Like, what world? That's not Giannis's type of guy. He's not the type of guy to sit on the road in Boston and on a back-to-back, then come play at home against Brooklyn. Just BS. Play the nationally televised, the biggest game you've had all year, or whatever. Like, it's a send a message game. He is that guy. I'm just surprised that he wasn't able to play, and then now we're, assuming he's going to. And it's a hamstring. It's not like we're talking about an illness. You know what I mean? And he missed the game before that against Phoenix, another good team.
What time does that game start?
8 Eastern. So, and because no Middleton on the back-to-back, Lillard is a better play than he was yesterday. And for everybody who was, upset, Lillard still had a 35% usage rate or 34% usage rate and played, 36 minutes and ended up, not what we maybe hoped for, but 49 DK points is not bad. The 9,100, which he was, but tonight he would be a much better play even.
Any chance I can get this news before I go to dinner? That'd be so nice.
The point spread is telling you that Giannis is playing because they're 9.5 point favorites. I think without Giannis and Middleton, it would be like a 5 kind of a thing on a back-to-back, maybe like a 4.5 even.
Well, maybe I should do it. Maybe I should just bet Brooklyn +9.
So Brooklyn +9.
This way, when Giannis is ruled out, I can't change my lineups. At least have.
You got that. It would be nice if Brooklyn was good in this scenario. Unfortunately, they're not a good basketball.
No, but if Giannis is out, I'll be getting 4 points of value. Whatever.
Yeah, but I don't even know that. Like, yeah, I understand. I just watch Brooklyn get like I don't know. Yeah, I agree with the totally overall concept of it. I just don't know if I will ever want to bet on Brooklyn on the road within 9 against Milwaukee. Like, almost no matter who's playing. But you're right. It probably is. It actually is probably a pretty damn good bet.
Oregon's winning. Nevada's winning.
Milwaukee is the worst team against the spread, just for what it's worth for all you bettors out there. Milwaukee is the worst team against the spread in the NBA this season by a long shot, by literally like 10 percentage points higher than anybody else. That's right, Cam. All right. Would you still play Sharp even with Claxton in? I wonder if we get a good run. Look, because of the lack of value, Sharp enters the conversation. If this was a regular slate, I would be saying, like, what the hell are you thinking about? You're just going to play a guy because he happened to have a good game one time, which he can randomly do because he puts up points in no time, But Claxton is playing, It's for me, it's just another one to fit in. But because the upside, like the point per minute stuff, I do think that he's maybe like, and at lower ownership, maybe him over Dylan Brooks is an interesting conversation. Although he takes up a center spot, and center is where you're getting the other weird value tonight.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think if it's not Kessler because Markkanen is back. So that's the thing. Like with Collins is out, but Markkanen's back. Like it doesn't necessarily change anything.
Well, I mean, he's going to get like all the rebounds now, right? I mean,
why? Markkanen is as good a rebounder as Collins is. Actually better.
I guess so.
So Pingalore, I like this question. I'm playing Brunson. I'm not playing much tonight though. And look, I'm not saying this play is going to work every time in general trust projections, but we've seen what's happening with Brunson. This is not like it would not be surprising at all if Jalen Brunson was the highest scoring player on the slate, not named Luka or Jokic, or actually it wouldn't even be totally out of the realm of possibility that he's the highest scoring. But I do want to acknowledge that it's a wild card play. And yes, I would be trying to do it with Fox specifically, because then you're just even narrowing it down even more. And then he doesn't have to outscore Fox or anything, which is one way he could beat him. But then you use those guys as your spend ups. It'll be a very low owned combination, and I think that makes a lot of sense.
Dayton is getting wrecked if that impacts anybody's brackets.
Who are they getting wrecked by?
Nevada.
Oh, I picked Nevada to actually go to this. I think they have them in the Sweet 16 or Final 8.
There it is.
But that's the only. There's no real upset so far, right? No real scares either.
I mean, Duquesne beat
BYU, yeah.
BYU. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I had a little too much BYU.
Creighton looked good.
Creighton, that's who I've got in the Final Four.
Illinois picked it up in the second half.
No.
Michigan State, they'll do their thing. They always
every time. Like, what does it even matter what seed or record they have? It's ridiculous.
No.
Now they play North Carolina, who they've never beaten in. It's like the one team they've never beaten in March. But
that spread's going to be small, by the way.
What's that?
That spread's going to be small.
It's 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, this golf tournament, I had it on in the background. It seems like everybody I watch misses every putt now. I know that's different with all the things, but like just weird going from like what's been happening lately where everybody's been making all these 10 to 20 footers and now nobody can make like a 5 to 10 footer. Except for Kevin Streelman. Except for bad mood Kevin Streelman, who just can't miss a thing.
Because he wants to unplug something, and I said, you can't unplug.
Can't unplug the internet.
Okay, he's showing me what to do. I just got to find
So,
actually, you want to give me 10 minutes? I'll probably be out of here in 10 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. If you're out of here.
In 10 minutes.
It might not even affect you, but he said if it does, I don't want him to yell at me.
Okay.
He's just trying to troubleshoot what's wrong with the phones. And
Okay.
I finally have him here. So.
Okay. 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, my golf lineups are the way they usually are. Dead.
but
Good.
that's at least you can get. This is really an interesting build. I like when sometimes, like, I don't like them to be, obviously I want to have a fun start, but like it's kind of torture, like when you're in first place for like $1 million on day one and then it's going to be nothing. Like,
Well, I got 3 guys in my big buy-in. 3 guys are tied at 96th, like 3 of them all together. So they're all going to be doing it together. And 2 of them were in the same group today, so that's fun.
Wait, at 96?
96th place, yeah. 3-way tie. All 3 of them. Yep.
I think we have no idea where this cut line ends up because it's going to be crazy weather tomorrow.
Oh, is it? Oh, good. Get a little variance, I guess.
I dream about the golf tournament with variance. I love it. It's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
It's really fun when you can be like in 40th place and then in first place from one hole to another. Like, oh, this guy triple bogeyed and your guy made an eagle. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so
the genius long shot Daniel Berger, he's T144th with a +5. That's good.
yeah.
What else do we ever? But I'm looking and like, who is actually doing well in this tournament? Keith Mitchell, Xander's doing his thing, I guess. Adam Svensson, okay, that's the one I thought was going to be popular, and he's 2%.
Yeah, and he was 2%. I ended up playing like 10% of him, so that at least made me happy. But he's gonna go nuts. He doesn't do well with this weather changes.
Of course, P. Malnati at 0.6% is T2.
I have like 3% of him.
Hey, you're 5 times above the field on him.
I know. That's all I could ask for, I guess.
Yep. What happened to the general? Does he play anymore?
He's been so bad for so long, which has been.
Oh, you weren't kidding! Oh my god, I couldn't believe. I thought you were kidding. Kevin Streelman.
He went nuts. He was hitting shots like they were bouncing, ricocheting off trees onto the green.
The bad attitude, that's the perfect indication. When the bad attitude, Kevin Streelman, and I'm looking at the signature hole at 0.1%.
Yep. 0.1. That sounds about right. Sounds about right.
Let's go.
Probably where it should be. Man, I'm almost.
How many people are in this? So
I like here
in the signature hole there were 900. So that means at 0.1%, that means there's probably one person that has it. Because 1% would be 9 people.
Right.
So one person in the whole tournament has it. And I found who it is. The guy who's in 5th place.
There you go. But he's probably got 2 other guys at plus something.
And he's got Zach Johnson at T95. Who's going to play Kevin Streelman at 0.1?
Wow.
And Zach Johnson at 0.3.
In the 555 too. This ain't the lottery where you just end
Dude, he's got 12. He's got a million entries. He's got parentheses all over the place.
Oh my god, that's even still. You can only have 30 some. That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, he's rooting for.
What did Dahmen end up doing here? I did play a lot of Dahmen, like a lot.
What happened?
Plus that, +1. I mean, 40% chance.
T96, right with me.
Right with you, yeah.
I know what +1 equals. That's the thing.
It felt much better when he birdied the first couple holes. Yeah, the names you see on these leaderboards too, and the guys playing, it's just like so weird.
Hayden Buckley at 0.2% is T12.
Hayden Buckley, actually, what's his name? Rick talked a tiny bit about him.
Oh yeah,
for this one. Yeah, but I'm just curious to see what the weather does tomorrow, because if the rain comes too much, then they'll just call it. But if it doesn't, got a lot of good guys at -2. Billy Horschel missed like 2. One was like a 2 or 3 footer. The other one was like a 4 footer. Otherwise, he would be doing good. But he's -2. Hadwin's -2. I'm really heavy on. Justin Thomas was my other highest owned guy. He's doing well. We didn't have a live sweat show this week. Wait a minute. We can do a live sweat show. Well, it'll coincide with our regular show tomorrow.
H. Springer, T6 at 1.3%.
Hayden Springer. Yeah, I got like 2% of him.
And the guy who's in first is also in second in the signature hole.
Yeah.
Because both of them have Adam Svensson.
Yeah,
they also both have Schauffele.
Yeah, it's
so no news, no nothing, no changes, no Giannis news.
Nothing happening. I will update anybody, and as I know, MJ will, and everybody else who's been awesome in our Discord if anything happens. But
wait, so what do I do for real? Like if it's so this is life in Sheets World, right? I'm going to dinner at 7 o'clock. Okay, it's 1 hour before the Milwaukee game. We're not going to have the news. I'm going to get pinged at dinner. 7:30, let's say. Mm-hmm. Giannis is out. So, I mean, I can't make actually good lineups. So, but I got to mass swap him, and then for somebody, and I'll be back by All I can swap is in the 9 o'clock game. Oh, I can get Jokic, right? Almost.
There's a $600 price difference.
Ooh.
And
ooh,
you'd have to use Giannis as center. So it'd be a little
first
weird.
I should probably do is probably try to put him in the utility, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
But
That doesn't
it's
help.
just, I don't know, man. Like everybody else seems more optimistic that he's playing than I am. And I'm just going based off of what I think is actually pretty decent speculation.
Okay. You know what? I have it even better because I actually only have 5 lineups with him in it. So I'll be able to handle it, I think.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I think so.
It's more just the
first thing I am going to do, actually. Okay, so I'm prepared. So one lineup's got Giannis and Michael Porter Jr. So if I can go to Jokic and then I could drop down from Michael Porter Jr., that'd be fine if I had to. This other one has Giannis. Oh my God, this one is Giannis and Luka. Let's go. You can probably guess exactly what the rest of the lineup looks like. But Giannis and so I could give him Luka, and then I'd have to drop from yikes. I don't even know. I have to drop from Dylan Brooks to somebody else, I guess. And then this one, I have Giannis and Kessler. That could become Jokic and somebody less than Kessler. Well, no, Kessler's what time? Kessler's at 8:30. All right, should be about 8:30. Yeah, this is what it is. And then there's Giannis over here. Okay. When does the Sacramento game start?
Sacramento game is
at 7. And I have him in the utility. Why do I have Sabonis in the utility?
I don't know.
In this lineup.
White and Caruso are in. That's helpful. Thanks, MJ. Pingalore, we can't just say, let's say Giannis is not playing because I don't even know how you do. Like, we don't have a tool that does that exact thing. And by the way, all the tools that are out there, and I know for a fact some of them at companies that I've worked at as a part of, not to start a thing, but you're using complete nonsense on far too small a sample size because every situation is different. So with Milwaukee without Giannis tonight is much different than Milwaukee without Giannis last night. Not just because they're playing Brooklyn and not.
Meanwhile,
no, it's really important to address this. People are going to lose sight of the fact that Chris Middleton's out. So if you want to take a stand and build on the later games, that's the reason I think to do it. You do it for this Giannis news because I do think Lillard, Portis, Lopez, and then you get Connaughton, Crowder if you want the value. I think all of those guys will be totally playable if Giannis is out, and I think you could stack that game up if he's out.
Meanwhile, Dayton has scored like 10 in a row, and they're down 9 now. 5 minutes to go. The aforementioned Flyers. Where is the University of Nevada? Is that in Vegas or no?
No, it's in like Reno area.
Okay.
It's actually a funny story. I was at a hotel when I was in I don't know how old I was. I guess I was grown because it was Nevada's football team was staying there, and it was funny because we were hanging out with these guys, and this one guy, this giant fro. So we were just talking in the lobby one night, and I don't know why he was at a lobby bar, but yeah, it was I don't think he was drinking anything, but it was Colin Kaepernick when he was playing college.
Oh, really? He played for Nevada?
He played them for Nevada.
Oh, wow. Oh, Dayton for 3. Now it's a 6-point game. Wow.
Basketball Monster was awesome. No, I don't think I don't think in the modern NBA that any of the on-off stuff is good because I just think you're dealing with a different situation almost every time. Now, tonight it's a little bit better because Milwaukee is mostly the same pieces, except Middleton's a big piece that wasn't there. So it can't just do the exact same things as last night because everybody from last night will be much better as a play tonight than they were last night.
Yeah. I'm not off, but he can. If he wants
I'm going to pretend that he's out for my build.
Somebody has to do it if I get kicked off. I get kicked off.
I'm going to play Portis.
So if I get kicked off the internet anytime in the next couple of minutes, then I'm out. What is this? Are you following this Cameron Sutton thing?
What happened?
So he's a cornerback for the Lions, and he's like kind of on the run from the police he's being faced with domestic battery charge by strangulation, and they've been trying to find him for like 2 weeks.
Jesus.
So it's so funny. The news is Lions release Cameron Sutton. I mean, like, really? That's the important thing? So they released Cameron Sutton amid police search for a cornerback. They've been unable to find him since March 7th. It's crazy.
Wow, that is crazy.
You know, probably killed himself somewhere. I mean, like,
yeah. I mean, what else? I don't know. That's weird.
He could just be on the run. That's obviously possible.
Yeah.
Police responded to a call early that morning in a house in Lutz, Florida, where Sutton allegedly battered a woman before fleeing the scene.
Jeez, that's crazy.
You know, he started all 17 games for the Lions. So funny that the way they cover. I guess it's an ESPN story. They're talking about like the domestic violence. There was evidence of wounds on the woman's body. Then it says Sutton started all 17 games for the Lions, registering 16 tackles, 6 passes defended, 1 interception. Like it matters.
That's so ridiculous.
That's like so odd almost.
Oh my God. It was, but it was like bad. It was always bad, but I feel like it's gotten worse with that kind of stuff.
That's like
used to be the Michael Vick would be like they'd be talking about the dog thing and they'd be showing like Michael Vick's like highlights at the same time. Like we don't need the highlights.
Right, exactly.
Nothing to do with each other. Like,
it's like there's his statistics from last season.
Yeah. Guys, sorry not to have more for you. It's kind of a small, lame-ish slate. I'm going to post a build of what I'm doing. Obviously, there's some speculation. Well, actually, that's not what I wanted to do. Damn it! Every time I think I'm done with the build,
one of these days, I want to talk about this. It's getting a lot of publicity. This whole thing about the forget Ohtani also, but also the like the NBA like going really like full all in on gambling. I mean, like they're having on their League Pass app.
Yeah,
they're letting people just like click right through to wagering.
Yeah.
And it's getting into some weird, not say weird, but some interesting pushback from like some like well-known gamblers saying that they should regulate it more. They should not let people gamble as much as they are. It's a weird pushback, because people have been begging forever, let people do what they want, whatever it is. And now people are pushing back. Well, you know what? They're now luring people in and they'd have to give more education. I guess that makes sense, but it's interesting.
Yeah, no, it is.
56:50, 4 minutes to go in Dayton. Let's see.
What about a Jordan Poole bounce back game? Is that doable?
At 7K, worth no less, right?
I mean, with him, it doesn't really matter, right? It's going to be 20 or 40 plus. Like,
it doesn't matter. His price does not matter at all.
It's like, if he's like 5K, sure, then it matters. But like otherwise,
I have a name. I'm going to look him up before I ask you what he's doing. So I would like you to tell me whether this player is still in the NBA or not, and if so, in what capacity? Let me see.
Okay, give me your name.
Interesting. So. The question is John Wall.
He is, I think, technically still in the NBA.
I just researched it. Because I wasn't sure.
He has 1 more year of payment, right?
Yeah. So what happened was in February 9th, it looks like just a month ago, he was traded back to the Rockets by the Clippers in a 3-team trade, and then he was waived 3 days later.
Yeah. So he gets technically not, but
some salary.
Yeah, it's funny how, like, man, that poor. It's too bad he got injured. He was actually, I really enjoyed John Wall. Yeah. Actually, I was on that side.
And that's a guy I worry about too.
He's doing, but he's got the podcast now. I think he'll be all right. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I found what I'm gonna do, and it's very strange.
He was gonna be. I mean, he was like gonna be the nuts. I mean.
He was great, and with he and Beal together when they were young, especially, that there was some real hope. They challenged those LeBron teams,
all rookie in 2010, 11. All rookie team, MVP of the summer league. He was in the Rising Stars Challenge.
All right, so we got the cores, we got that in. As I mentioned, I wanted to remind everybody, for some reason, and we're working on SaberSim to correct it, but Goldie's projections are now showing up at the end of, so you have to scroll all the way.
You mentioned that yesterday, right?
Yeah, you can drag them over, but I'm still trying to get an exact answer from SaberSim on when we can get those fixed. So we're working on it. They're still there, though. You can drag them right there yourself. It's just unfortunate that you have to do it yourself, and there's nothing we can do on our end. but SaberSim should have it figured out soon, and trying to get a call schedule with them to get that sorted soon.
Dude, and there's like a 555 tonight I mentioned on NHL, and there's a big
What's the price?
$20K. But then they have the normal MME or whatever. Oh my God, it's tied in Dayton. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God. Okay. So
I think they've gotten outscored 19-0. I think.
Pingalore just says he saw Giannis. He sees Giannis on the court. Looks like he's going to play. That's very helpful.
Pingalore's the best.
Pingalore, we really appreciate that.
You actually at the game?
No, I don't think because it's not it's in Milwaukee.
Oh, I thought he was literally like pinging us on Discord.
That would be the absolute best.
Yeah.
I don't think we could ask for anything else from somebody than that.
Yeah. But so and this NHL thing, check it. There's like it's a 1, 2, like I think a 13-game slate starting at like 7 o'clock, and then there's 7:30 games, 9 o'clock games, 9, 10, 10:30. I have like all of my players in like the 10:30 game.
Oh, really?
Pretty much.
But you don't really have to do much late swap. I mean, like theoretically, I guess you can always late swap, but like,
but not even that. I don't even have to look for like hours. You know, it's like,
right. No, but I'm just saying, like, I literally don't know because I don't pay attention to hockey. But like, there aren't often guys announced out.
But there are, you know, listen, for the professionals. I mean, there are line changes that get announced, which if you're on top of, it makes a little bit of a difference. So we'll just see. We'll just see what happens. But okay, I guess I'm going to get going here.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens with Giannis. You know, whatever it is, it is. If somebody wants to remember to text me if he's out, that'd be great.
If I'm awake and alive,
yeah. And I know I don't put my Discord on notifications. I just can't do it. So 59-58 Dayton, 2 minutes to go. Let's see what we got here. They are in man, exactly, and coming off of the screen. If Nevada pulls it out after all this, they're freaking geniuses.
Well, they're
going to work down low, sky hook. Nope. 59-58 still Dayton. It's a 20-2 run in 5 minutes and 40 seconds.
Jesus, that's crazy.
Yep. Since I said they were getting wrecked. And Dayton, steal. All right, so a minute 20 to go. Nevada with the ball, down 1, a minute 15. They're running literally no offense.
They scored somehow.
Oh, you're following it that way?
I just somehow I'm ahead of you for the first time ever.
Yeah, off the glass. Are you watching it?
No, I for some reason won't come up on my screen.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, like if you're not watching it, you're definitely ahead.
Really, the ESPN Live?
Data is always better than the visual.
No, well, obviously not when you're like, but I don't know. I've seen a lot of it, a lot of things live. Like in golf, the data is always worse than live.
Right. But NBA, basketball, I mean, it's like not even close.
Yeah.
By the time you see it on TV, it's like 4 points in the score. 61-60, 31 seconds to go. Timeout. All fixed?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Bob, I'm going to go. We're going to eat.
Available to play according to Pingalore.
Who's Giannis?
Yeah.
Love it.
Look at that. You can just go ahead.
Smooth. Super smooth. Okay.
All right, buddy. Have a good night.
Later.
Good luck, everybody.